Hello everybody, welcome to another video. We are starting off here in qualifying at Autobahn Country Club. You're going to notice it's a bit damp. It actually doesn't even look bad on screen until you start seeing how slow we're going and how much correcting we're having to do. But I luckily fell into a good position here following Emil, who was able to show me the rain line. And you can see how wildly different that is from any normal race line you'd normally take. And I have very little rain experience, that's pretty clear, but we were able to qualify third behind the two freaks, and that was a good good position considering we had no practice. There was a practice, but I went out and my windshield wipers stopped working before I even set a wheel on track, and then my defrost stopped defrosting, so my windshield fogged up. So I didn't get any practice. We fixed that between sessions, and hopefully it's fixed for the next rain race, but man, if not, that's another issue we're going to have to deal with. But anyway, so this is our fastest lap from qualifying. That's Emil out front. You can see us taking ridiculous lines, just trying to find grip. Basically the normal racing line, if you're not familiar with rain racing, is like ice, and so you need to find somewhere else to find some grip and find some speed. So Tom has perfected that, and I've got a long ways to go to catch up to him, but I've learned a bunch just from these few laps we got here and got way more comfortable, and we'll start working on a rain setup besides, and improving this, because I'm sure this isn't the last time you'll see us in the rain this season. So anyway, like I said, qualified third, and I was thrilled with that considering the circumstances. Here we are, race one, inside row 2. Give Tom a little boop, try to get him going, so hopefully I can get in front of Andy. I braked a little too early. I saw Tom's taillights because it's a sneaky move, and then I braked a little early, but anyway, still able to stay in third. And this isn't the most exciting race, so I'm not going to show you, in fact I'm just going to show you blips and pieces of races, but as far as my weekend went, this was about as good as it got. These guys in practice the day before blew my doors off, and I wasn't too thrilled with it. So being able to run a similar pace to these guys in this race, I still don't know how or why. I didn't make any significant changes, but we were able to pass Andy here in the coming laps, and we were running a similar pace to Tom. And I don't know what changed and why all of a sudden I couldn't go past the subsequent races, but that's, I don't know. I just don't know. But anyway, you can see a little smoke up front. I believe that was Joel having some really rough luck. Luckily he got pulled off to the side, and the race stayed green for the whole race. So that was nice. We're on the Kumos for the first time, and we're running a ton more weight. So I shouldn't say a ton more, but we are at the full weight of what you'd ever want to be in this series, and I have my doubts about it being a competitive ability. Anyway, got inside of Andy there. We got a nice run up to the start finish and got inside of him, and here I made a mistake and take the grass line, which allows him to get back inside. I tried to over under him here. That didn't really pan out either, so we'll have to try again at a later date. Matt Walbaum in my rear view there has been turning it up each race. He's getting more and more comfortable. I believe he comes from an autocross background, and he's showing a lot of speed, and a guy to watch out for. Apparently, if you're in an S2000 with ASM on the side, you're probably just going to be fast. So I hope that we can keep these Corvettes competitive, but I guess we'll find out. I will say from last year, we did not have a good showing at Autobahn, so I'm hopeful that we still have some speed to run with these guys in subsequent races. but I am a little bit nervous. Coming up here, that's the highest speed straight there. Andy must have missed a shift here or something. I don't know what he did, but able to get next to him again. He took a little wide line there, and then had a nice little run on him. Draft him a little bit, show him the inside, or show him the outside and switch to the inside. Nice close racing. This time I keep it on the track, and this is the preferred line because you're going to be able to carry more speed. I was able to just clear Andy here into 3, 4, whatever turn this is. And then that's basically the way the rest of this race goes, is just cruising. Now, I was able to basically maintain a distance to Tom, so I was pretty thrilled after that, and I wish it had panned out a little bit better. But now I put fresh tires on. I hadn't used them yet because of the qualifying rain, so I was like, man, I got a secret weapon. I'm starting in the front row. It's exactly where I want to be. Fresh tires, and we're probably going to have a really solid chance of winning this race. That is definitely not what happened. I don't remember how much of this I'm going to show you, but it's like the fresh Kumos just aren't that good, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say for sure, but man, this car was a dumpster fire for this race. The early laps are probably fine, but then the front end just went away. And I did change this other set of wheels here. Is a different width, front and rear, and both of those are different than what I ran my other Kumos on, so I suppose that could play a factor. The tires are the same size, just the wheel width is different. So I suppose that's a possibility, but either way, this thing just was not dialed in for this race. So the rest of this race is me just trying to hold off Andy. It's pretty boring. About maybe 3/4 of the way through the race he gets around me, and then it's just single file from then on, so we'll carry on from here. Alright, started race 3, back in 3rd position. Give Tom a little bump as I do, and again hoping here to somehow clear Andy, but I was kind of in between gears at the top of that turn, so it would have been nice to stay in second, but I was on the limiter, so you kind of shift, and then not ideal for the race starts, but anyway, pull into 3rd. And basically watch these two cats just drive off into the sunset. I switched back to my other tires for this race, hoping that the car would be improved, and it was a little bit, but we were still fighting with some understeer. So we made some changes going into the final race that helped it a little bit, but also made it a little harder to drive and be consistent, and you'll see that here in a minute. So we got a yellow flag out. Full course caution, we pull into the pits, and we're going to restart single file here. We're going to continue working on setup. I've ordered another front sway bar here to have in the old arsenal, and we're going to continue playing with setup, trying to get this thing better. I mean, we're fast compared to most, but these two up here are on another level, and I'm not cool with it. So anyway, that was how race 3 finished. Here's the start of race 4 with a slight invert. Gave Emil a healthy bump. Don't worry, I cleared it with him before this because Matan had already wrecked his bumper. Kids these days. Anyway, so yeah, gave him a nice bump, got him out. This is exactly what I needed to happen for this race start. My goals heading into this race are to stay in front of Andy, who I am battling for second position for the weekend. And this is exactly where we needed to be. But man, it didn't last long. So Emil got a little off the apex there. I've got a decent run. I'm going to try to draft them. Let's see what happens. Leaves it open for me, which was fantastic. This race is just playing out perfectly currently. Waved at him. He didn't wave back. Total jerk move. So right now I'm just trying to stay clean and as fast as I possibly can because I know these two weirdos are coming for me and they are definitely faster. So I don't know what I did here, but I didn't really change much except apparently missed the apex a little and go flying off the racetrack a little bit, but now Tom and Emil are right there. Now I'm drag racing Emil back to the corner we just passed him in last lap, and Tom is right on my bumper, which apparently it's bright enough that you can't see. Huh, I wonder why that is. Normally you'd be able to see, it must be some different reflection I guess on my mirror, but normally you could see behind me in my mirror. But anyway, now we got these boys drafting, so I'm trying to make a move to keep them out of my draft. That corner was basically perfectly between gears too. It's like a couple of the corners here was like you could use second and it could be better, but unless it's perfect, third gear is just easier and probably more consistent, so I just stuck with third gear. But I don't know, kicking myself for not trying more stuff, I guess. I had a lot harder time holding my nose in than it appeared those other guys had. I cranked up front rebound here trying to improve corner exit with the front end of the car. Still just wanting to skate away, so I'll have to play with more stuff. Now I'm being real cautious through there because I just went off last time. So by now I believe Tom is directly behind me, and I believe Andy is caught up to Tom behind him. And I'm still in a good position, but being the slowest car of the three, I am not in a great position. We're still in a good spot currently for the season points. However, those guys are going to all the races. They've already been to one more than I have, and they're going to two more than I'm going to go to as well, which is going to make it near impossible for me to be able to compete for the championship. Unless some sponsors want to send me off to the East Coast, then we might be able to still take a run at this thing, but it's just so much money. It's just to get out there and back, and entry, I bet it's $5,000 to do the New Jersey trip. But anyway, Tom's beside me. They do the old, this was a weird deal here. So Tom had, I don't know how he's able to hold it down there, but I was back to power relatively early. He was back to power and still able to turn better and get under me. So I had to leave that open. So Tom and I are side by side, and then Andy is able to still take the preferred line through turn 3. And so he's got a much better run. So they go on either side of me, and it looks like the Viking car is just a turd. And watch these guys drive off again. So pretty frustrating weekend not being able to have the pace. We're going to continue trying though. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to try different things. We're going to keep trying to sharpen this thing and improve. So not giving up. It doesn't look good, but we're not giving up. And we got some more C5 reinforcements coming. Lukey boy's coming. There's some brown guy that's coming in the future, and man, I will say it's the most fun racing I've ever done. I consider these two idiots in front of me friends, and a lot of people will ask me, do you just hate those guys or something? And it's certainly not the case. I mean, when you're on the track, obviously I want to beat them, but without them, this wouldn't even be fun. So man, I have so much fun, and we chat after the races, and when Andy wipes the floor with me and Tom, I can still go congratulate them and tell them good job, and they'll come do the same if I beat them. So it is so much fun. I'm having the time of my life. I love this stuff, and thank you guys so much for watching and supporting me. Sponsors, hit up your boy. Let's get out to the East Coast and win this thing. But otherwise, here's a few words from my beautiful wife, and hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.
Hey, I was kind of hoping to do a little recap of the weekend / what I thought of the weekend and racing in general while we were at the track. But Jeremy really didn't go off and chat with his buddies as much as he normally does, so I didn't have a chance or opportunity to kind of do that on my own. So here I am back at home after the weekend, which was a lot of fun, and thought I'd do just a quick little video kind of saying what I thought of how the weekend went. Jeremy took third for the weekend, which was great. I was really proud of him. I know it's not what he wants. I know he wants to be first. He's very competitive, and I think everybody in the series certainly is. And I get it. I'm competitive too. But he did do well and kept up with pace a little bit better than he thought he was going to be able to, which was great. But still have some things to do yet to the car to make it a little bit better, to get on the same level as making his car expletive phenomenal, as they say. So thoughts on the weekend, I think it went great. It was super fantastic to get to see friends and meet new friends, lots of new people that I got to meet. It's so fun to see girlfriends and spouses with on the race weekends, and to get to meet all of these different people from all over the United States that I never would have met otherwise. Jeremy is super social. I'm a homebody more so than anything, and honestly, I'd probably just be in the house all the time and not get out much if it weren't for him. And I suppose that's one of the reasons why we complement each other so well. But so fantastic to meet new friends and get to see old friends, and it was just a wonderful weekend for that. And to see the camaraderie in racing and in this series is so fantastic. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm okay with the racing, even though it's crazy stupid financially. But, it's in any other sport that you're in, you don't typically help out your competition, So somebody's car breaks down, they need a part. Everybody's willing to help out. What do you need? What can I give you? Here's a tool. Here's the part you need. I mean, it's just crazy that people would do that, even though they're your competition. But I think part of it is that everybody wants to have that level of competition that is super high, and it's not as much of a big win if you are not competing against the best. But it's so cool to see that camaraderie, and I think it's fantastic, and it's such a great series, and I think that the Gridlife crew does a really good job of trying to create parity for the most part, and have a good series. I'm always excited to come with and watch and to help out as much as I can. I'm certainly no car guru, but I do enjoy being with and helping out when I can. Yeah. So overall, great weekend, cool series, great friends. Overall, just a fantastic weekend, and I hope to get to go to many, many more. Thanks, everyone.